guys, it's Tired Andy on the screen again. Today I am doing a book tag. It was created by Bookish Constellations, the lovely YouTuber, and I am actually pretty happy. This is the first book tag that I'm doing on my channel because it's The Good Place related, and The Good Place is literally my favorite series of all time, along with Doctor Who, but I won't get into that. Basically, they created a bunch of questions that are related to characters of The Good Place, or plot points, or plot devices, or stuff that's in The Good Place, to make us match that with a book. So that's what I'm doing. First, it's the question, Eleanor, best character development. And for that, I got The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. Cause how do I explain this? This is one of my favorite books ever. It's very good. And one of the main reasons is because the main character, Star, begins the book as someone who tries to hide what she is. Well, everyone knows, but she doesn't act like a black person in school, and she doesn't want to be seen as the aggressive black girl in school. But then her friend dies and gets shot by the police. That's not exactly a spoiler, because it's literally the beginning of the book, but moving on. She's very scared of coming forward and going against the cop that shot him, and just using her voice to fight for black people and police brutality, against police brutality. And in the end, she's just like, nope, if you don't see my blackness, you don't see me. If you don't see you won't see who I am, and you won't see what I stand for. And just how she decides to stand up and how she just decides to stand up and use her own voice and be who she is. It's amazing. I love this book. I love Angie Thomas, and I freaking awful with words. So let's move on. The second question is Cheaty, the book that made me most anxious to read, and that's a doozy, because I read Three Dark Crowns by Kandari Blake. This is the Portuguese edition, so the cover is a little bit different if you're in the US. But this book! First off, it's a very slow book because it's like a setup for the rest of the series. And this one is very character driven. Not a lot of plot moves forward until the very last few chapters. And just the whole situation they are in, because it's sisters who have to fight against each other to the death for a freaking throne. And it's I don't like this. I don't like where this is going, and I don't like that there might be death in the following books. I don't like this. I don't. I love the series, I love the book, but I don't like where it's going, because I'm gonna cry so bad, and I'm anxious about reading because there's 3 more. So I'm Okay, moving on. There's Tahani, a character that is humbled, a rich, ignorant, spoiled character that is humbled. I don't have the book with me anymore because I gave it away to a friend, but it's called H2O. Veronica, I forgot the name of the author, but I'm gonna put the cover here. Yes. And basically, it's about this popular girl in school, and she's very much spoiled and bratty and whatnot, doesn't really care about many people, until there's this acid rain thing that starts pouring down and killing people, and she's separated from her father, I think, or someone in her family, and so she's literally stuck trying to find someone that she knows, and she gets stuck with this other guy like slowly becomes her friend throughout the book. And yes, she's very much humbled in this book. There is a sequel that I haven't read, but I also need to look for it. So yes, it's been a hot second since I read that book. So I don't. And that's the case for a lot of the books that I'm gonna talk about in this video. It's been a while. My memory is not that great, so excuse me if things are a little bit vague, but that's what it is. Moving on. 4 is a character that is Jason. It's a character that is wiser than they seem, and that's Percy Jackson for me. Excuse me, I don't have books from either the Percy Jackson series or the Heroes of Olympus series. I only have this one, which is the Greek Heroes, Percy Jackson, the Greek Heroes. So I'm not really talking about this book in particular because he's just like narrating Greek myths in this one, but in his own series, Percy's a complicated character, but it's just a testament to how good of a writer Rick Riordan is, because he seems like he's doing stupid shit and just stupid stuff, but he actually has a plan. Like, people look at him do shit, and they're like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you going to do? What is your plan? And then when he's done doing the stuff and he's back alive, he's okay and he's fine, and he just like says something and people are like explaining what he did and people look at him like, huh? So he's a little bit like wiser than he seems. Annabeth is considered the brains, but he also has plans in his head. He's not stupid, he's just a little bit impulsive, but yes, that's 5. I have a list here, I'm sorry, I'm looking down. There's Michael, with a book that has perfect world building. Let's see, it's the Hunger Games series. I mean, do I even have to explain this? Do I really? This one, this book I wrote stuff in here. Like, may the odds ever be in your favor. But may the odds be ever in your favor. Anyway, it's such a good series. And I remember when my parents got this for me, they were traveling and they came back with this book and I was like, what the frick is this about? But I'm like, I'm into it. And there's like this whole passage in the book that's talking about the character. That's not what I want to talk about. Just the world building here is so intricate, and it's done to mirror our society, our capitalist society, and it's just so well done. The movies, okay. I don't hate them as much as other fans of the series do, but I do understand where they fucked up, so it's just... Yeah, the book is a lot better. If you've seen the movie, just go read the book because it's a lot better. Right? 6. Janet. Favorite non-human character, and you get bonus points if they are not in the gender binary, but I couldn't find a book. I don't have any books that I've read with characters that are non-binary, which is honestly a crime. I am trying to modify that. I am actually even writing books with characters that are non-binary, but the book that I got for this one was Diabolic by S.L. Kincaid. Yes, because we have Nemesis, and she's something called a Diabolic. She was basically created to protect another human person, and I don't remember exactly what she is, but she ain't human. There's even like the blurb that an author wrote, Sally Green. Nemesis is my kind of strong female character, but is she human? I think like she's kind of like Janet in a sense that she starts off like this blank slate of a character that's just supposed to be doing their jobs, but she, like, throughout the story she evolves into having human emotions and human connections and all that sort of stuff, which is honestly something that I love in books. So, and in any story, like any type of medium. Anyway, so this is that. Moving on, 7. The Good Place. Book that should have been perfect, but fell flat anyways. Let me see. There is Dear Evan Hansen by the very guys that wrote the musical, but also some other people that I don't know who they are. And when I read this, I didn't love it as much as I love the musical, but I wasn't against it in any way either. But then I saw a review of a person who loved the musical and who had more of a critical analysis on this book, and they just tore this book apart, and I'm like, oh right, they're not wrong. Like, everything that they said about this book is not wrong. And I'm like, oh boy, yeah, this is not as good as a musical. Not even, no. So yeah, it should have been perfect because it's based on a perfect musical with a very good message, but the book ain't good. So, and it didn't leave me with as much as an impact as the musical did, because the musical, I was bawling my eyes out, just like crying and dehydrating on the floor. But this book didn't give me the same feeling. And Evan is a bit of a dick here in the book. Like, in the musical, he's a cute kid who just like evolves into being a dick, but here he's a dick in the beginning, just like straight up at first. So it's just, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing with my hands and my stuff. Yeah, continuing. There's The Bad Place, a book that's torture for you, or that you would use for torture for other people, and that's okay. That is something, because here, the Cassandra Clare series, just like the Shadowhunter series. I haven't even read this one yet. This is like my bag fell. This is like the 6th book in the series, sixth, and I got to the 5th or the 5th one, but I have no intention of reading this because the characters are annoying me, the story is boring, nothing happens, it's too much character drama for me to handle. Like, I can't, if a book has no light moments and it's only just suffering or drama or stuff like that, I can't like it. I can't like it because it's just boring and these characters don't connect if they're only just being miserable, and that's this entire series. Like, everyone is always miserable all the time, and no one is happy. Like, I get it, they're in the middle of a war, but still, no happiness whatsoever. And I'm like, this is torture. Getting through this series was torture. I loved it when I read it at like 12, because I didn't have as much critical skills as I have now, but I can't read this anymore. I can't. I gave up on a series. I'm giving it to my friend who seems like she's gonna like it, but I just can't anymore. Personally, I hate every character in the series now. They even managed to make me hate Alec, and he was my favorite. So I'm just whatever. Then at number 9, Philosophy Class, a book that turned a trope, an idea, in on its head, and that's Dorothy Must Die by Daniel Page. I didn't really know about this book until a little kid in my school talked to me about it. She was way younger than me and she knew about this book and I didn't. But it is kind of very good. I must admit that, again, it's been a while since I read this, so I don't remember much about it. But I do remember that they played around with the idea that Dorothy was not as good as she was in the original story, and that the good witch was not as trustworthy as the bad witch, the Wicked Witch of the West, whatever. So it like turns everything you know about the world of Oz and twists it in a very twisted way. It's just not the same land that you know from the original tale anymore. So it's pretty fun, actually. Then you have spoilers. Best twist of a book in series. That is a book that I'm sure none of you watching this will know because it's a Brazilian book and it's I don't think it's been translated into a lot of languages so far. I knew it was translated into Italian and Portugal's Portuguese, but it's not a very worldwide known series, so I'm gonna have to explain what the twist is, and that's a huge ass spoilers. And this is the third book of the series because I don't have the first and second ones anymore. So the first one is called Perdida, which translated means lost. And basically it's this romance book about a character in the 21st century who is sent back to the 1800s. And she meets this guy who she falls in love with. But she's from the future, so she can't stay there forever. But later we find out that they are actually, it's kind of like a soulmate thing, but they weren't born in the same era, so they have like this fairy godparent sort of thing who sends her back into the freaking past, so they can meet and have that fateful moment. But she does end up going back to the future, and she's like desperate because she loves him and she wants to get back, and she doesn't care if she has to live in a place without toilet paper or internet or whatever, which is actually a pretty good character development for her because she lived in the 21st century and she hated old things and she loved the internet and all that stuff, which is very understandable. But she grows to like appreciate how hard it was for people back then to do things without the internet. So it's a good series. Very cheesy, very tropey, and very just like romantic stuff, but I liked it, and it was actually one of the series that made me want to be a writer in the first place. And then the last question which is a series finale, a book that when it ended made you sad. Oh, I don't have this sort of thing that like when a book ends I'm so sad, unless it's a series or the book has a really bad ending, which not Splintered, it's there's a book by Terry, a series that like the last book, I hated that ending and I threw the book against the wall. I literally just smashed a book against the wall because I hated the ending. But anyway, the book that I chose for this, just because I feel like it was such a good read for me, and I am a little bit sad that there's not more of it, is Leah on the Offbeat by Becky Albertalli. I actually like this a whole of a lot more than I did Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda. Is Homo sapiens right? Yeah. Because, not that I didn't like that book, I loved it and I loved the movie, but it's just that this book, I found Leah just a whole lot more relatable, and I just thought it was a better story somehow from, because like Leah and Abby's story just resonated a bit more with me. I don't know, maybe because there wasn't blackmail involved. I don't know, I just like this one more, and yeah, I wish it was a little bit of a bigger book, but maybe I get it why it's so short, because I mean there's only so much you can do with a normal love story. Like if you drag this on for 200 more pages, it would get boring. But still, I love these characters and I love just like their connection, so I was a wee bit sad it ended. But again, I'm not really devastated when a book ends, so there's my 2 cents. I love doing this book tag, again, because it's related to The Good Place. Writer Heart loves that series so much because of how well it's written and how everything is just, whew, I love it. And I just love this book tag. I am very thankful for Bookish Constellations for tagging me on this, because it was really fun, like, so going through my books and finding books that fit in all the questions. So thank you. I don't know their names, which I'm so sorry for, but thanks for tagging me, and I hope you like this video, everyone, not just Bookish Constellations. If you have any other book tags for me to do, that would be fun too. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to spread love, and I'll see you in the next video.